everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got some 1961 Milwaukee Braves baseball here on July, 27th, 1961. With the Cincinnati Reds playing here in Milwaukee. Let's take a look at the Reds starting lineup. Leading off, playing second base is Don Blasingame. Batting second, playing shortstop is Leo Cordonius. Batting third, playing center field is Vada Pinson. Batting fourth, playing right field is Frank Robinson. Batting fifth, playing first base is Gordy Coleman. Batting sixth, playing left field is Gus Bell. Batting seventh, playing third base is Gene Freeze. Batting eighth, doing the catching is Johnny Edwards. And batting ninth, doing the pitching for the Cincinnati Reds is Bob Purkey. And now let's go to the hometown Milwaukee Braves starting lineup here for this game against the Reds. Leading off, playing center field's Mac Jones. Batting second, playing second's Frank Boland. Batting third, playing third's Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth, playing right field's Hank Aaron. Batting fifth, playing first base is Joe Adcock. Batting sixth, playing left field is Lee May. Batting seventh, playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. Batting eighth and doing the catching is Sammy White. And batting ninth, doing the pitching for the Milwaukee Braves is Carl Wiley. Let's get down here to Milwaukee County Stadium, folks, and get this game started. Hey, Bernard's in the house, folks. Check out his great channel. Been doing some Red Sox games over there. And here's the first pitch from Kyle Wiley, the Blasingame. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Lee May camps under, and he'll make the out. First out here of the ball game. One up, one down. And that brings up Chico. And he's batting .333 on the year, folks. Off to a great start. And that's going to be a ground ball down to McMillan. He fires over to first for out number two. Two quick outs here in the first inning. And that brings up Vada Pinson. Vada's hitting .323 on the year, folks. And that's going to be a base hit in the left center field. Lee May gets over in the gap, cuts it off, fires it in. Vada will stop at first. But the Reds got their first base runner on here now for Frank Thomas. All right, here's Frank now. And Frank is batting .278 on the year. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. And Vada, with his speed, is going to motor on down the third. And all of a sudden now, with 2 outs, the Reds are making some noise here against Carl. First and third now, 2 outs. That'll bring up Mr. Coleman. Gordy's batting .266 on the year. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. And poor Carl Wiley can't get the final out here in this inning. And that ball is hit into the gap in center field. And that's going to clear the bases. That ball hits off the top of the wall. And just like that, it's a 2-0 ball game here in the first, folks. And that brings up Gus Bell with Coleman down at second. And again, 2 outs. All this happening with 2 outs. It looks like Carl was going to breeze through this first inning, but nah. Reds had other plans. Brings up Gus. He's batting .282 on the year. Here's the pitch to Gus. And that's going to be a deep fly ball in the right field, but Aaron has room, makes the catch to end this inning, but not until the Reds score 2. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Reds 2. Braves coming up the bat here. You got Jones, Boland, and Matthews to take on Bob Purkey. Max hitting .284 on the year. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Jones goes down. Hey, Tim. 1 out here in the first. Brings up Frank Boland now. Frank's hitting 295 on the year. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. So Frank Bowling gets on for the big boys, folks. Just out of the reach of Leo down there at short. Here's Eddie Matthews now. Chance to tie this game up with one swing of the bat. Eddie's hitting 300, an even 300 on the year, folks. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Gene Freeze charges it. Only play's going to be over to first. So that'll get Frank down at second now with 2 outs for Hammer and Hank. See if he can hammer it here, folks. He's hitting 307 on the year. At least like to see a base hit to score one. And that's not going to happen. That's a deep fly ball to center field. Veda Pinson on his horse. Goes back a few steps, makes the catch. And the braced Grand Bowling down at second, folks. We go to the top of the second. It's 2-0 Reds. We got Freeze, Edwards, and Purkey due up here for the Reds. Gene Freeze, the dancing machine's hitting 279 on the year. And that's a fly ball in the left field. Lee May down near the line makes the catch, out number 1. Brings up John Edwards. John's only hitting 100 on the season, folks. Sure, he's as cold as ice. And of course, as soon as I said that, he gets a hold of this one, squares it up, drives that ball into the gap in right field. It bounces off the fence out there. Aaron picks it up, fires it in, and Edwards is down at second, folks, with 1 out. And I'm not big on butting the runner over to third, especially with 1 out, depending on a 2-out base hit. So we're going to let Purkey swing away, folks. He's batting a $125. See what Bob can do. Can he help his own cause? Because everybody knows on this channel, you don't need no stinking DH. And John Edwards, the catcher, they got him trying to steal third, and that ain't going to happen. So that's going to be 1 strike on Purkey. No balls and 1 strike on him. And that's going to be a base on balls. Bob trots on down to first, folks. So all of a sudden now it's first and second and only 1 out. We're back to the top of the order. For Don Blasingame, he's 0 for 1. He flew out to Lee May his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Carl Wiley. 2 down here now. You can get out of this inning with no run scoring. Here's Leo up now. He's 0 for 1, grounded out to short his first time up. But he's not going to this time, folks. He squares this one up. And that ball is belted into right field, folks. That ball is back. That ball is deep. That ball is going. And that is home run number 2 for Leo on the year, folks. And just like that, it's a 5-0 ball game. And Carl cannot get that elusive third out. All 5 runs have scored with 2 outs in the inning, folks. That brings up Veda. Veda's 1 for 1 and scored. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. May makes the catch. But the Reds score 3 more. We go to the bottom of the second. Brace trailing by 5. Adcock, May, and McMillan due up here. Joe Adcock hitting 275 on the year. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Veda takes a few steps in, makes the catch for out number 1. Brings up Lee May now. Lee's hitting 243 on the year. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. That ball is back. Floyd Robinson looks up, watches that sail over his head, and the Braves are on the board. And it's 5-1. Nice job by Lee May. Brings up McMillan now, hitting a cool 201 on the year. And Mac gets a hold of this, and all of a sudden Bob Purkey's just firing the ball right in the sweet spot. He drives that ball in the gap. It rolls to the fence. And McMillan's down at second, folks, with a double. And only one out here. Let's see if Carl can help his own cause. Well, Sammy White's up next. Sammy's hitting 280 on the year. See if he can keep it up here. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. White goes down on strikes. That's 2 outs now. So it's up to Carl to do some damage with Mac down at second. Cut this to a 3-run game. He's hitting 097 on the year, folks. And that's a swing and a miss. So Purkey back-to-back strikeouts. The Braves do score 1 on the Lee May home run. We go to the top of the 3rd here. You got Robinson, Coleman, and Bell due up for the Reds. Floyd is 1 for 1 and scored his first time up. And that's squared up. Floyd all over Carl today, folks. He drives that ball the opposite way in the right field. Aaron cuts it off, and he's going to hold Floyd to a single. The lead runner's on. Maybe Carl's trying some different approach. Get the lead runner on and then get 3 outs instead of getting a quick 2 outs. You got Mr. Coleman. Can he get a nice ground ball in turn 2 here? He's 1 for 1, doubled his first time up, and he's not done today. He squares this one up again, folks. And that ball is driven into the right field line. Hits in fair territory. And that's going to score Robinson from first, folks. And the Reds are taking it to the Braves today. And all of a sudden, they get that run back and make it a 5-run lead again. Brings up Gus Bell now. They go out and talk to Carl. He's trying to settle down. Bell's up. He's 0 for 1. Flew out to Aaron his first time up. He ain't flying out this time, folks. That ball is high. That ball is deep. That ball is hitting the freaking man territory over the center field fence. Home run, Gus Bell. That is number 3 on the year for Gus. Sure. And this game has gotten out of hand quick. It is 8-1 Reds. That brings up Gene Freeze. He flew out the left his first time up. Sure. Carl Wiley can't get an out here all of a sudden, folks. That's a ground ball down to Frank Bowen. That'll be out number 1. Sure. And that brings up John Edwards. John's doubled his first time up and scored. 1 out, nobody on. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down now, finally here in the 3rd. Brings up Bob Purkey now. This will be the 9th man to reach, come to the plate, I believe. No, I think we start off with Robinson. And that's a swing and a miss. So Carl comes back, strikes out the last 2, but not until the Reds score another 3 runs on a 3-run homer and take an 8-1 lead, folks. The only good news for the Braves is due up here in the 3rd is the top of the order. Jones, Bolin, and Matthews. Max struck out his first time up. And he doesn't strike out this time. He hits a ball into the center field. Veda comes on, dives for it, and robs Mac of a base hit, folks. Nice play by Veda Pinson out there in center field. One of the best center fielders in the game in 61. Here's Frank Bolin. He singled his first time up. And that's going to be another drive in the center field. This one's a lot easier for Veda. Takes a few steps to his right, makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down. Comes up Eddie. See if he can get a hit here. He grounded out the 3rd his first time up. And that will be a base hit in the center field. Veda can't rob him of this one, folks. So 1 on now, 2 outs for Henry Hank Aaron. See if Hank can do some damage here. Hanky flew out the center his first time up. So far, all 3 balls have been hit out the center. Veda's come up with 2 of them. Eddie's dropped in there. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Gene Freeze is up with it. He'll throw across the diamond to get Aaron. The Braves leave Eddie stranded at first. Still a 7-run lead for the Reds. Got Blasingame, Cordonius, and Penson due up here to top of the order for the Reds. And Don's 0 for 2. He struck out his last time up. He didn't strike out this time, folks. And that ball is belted in the right field, right down the line, hits the chalk. Aaron goes over, grabs it, throws it in the infield, but Blasingame standing down at second in scoring position. Carl Wiley is getting his ears knocked off, folks. Sure. We're only in the 4th inning. I'd like to see him go 4 or 5 innings. Want to waste that bullpen. Here's Leo up now. He's 1 for 2 with a 3-run homer. And he pops this ball up in the infield. Frank Bolin near the grass makes the catch for out number 1. Blasingame still down at second. Here comes Veda. Penson is 1 for 2 and scored. Flew out the left his last time up. And he ain't flying out the left this time, folks. Sure, that ball is high. That ball is deep. That ball is again hit the deep center field, folks. They are just having batting practice against Carl. And that's going to be it for Carl. That is a 10-1 game. Sure. Carl cannot get out of the 4th inning, folks. Let's see who they're going to bring in here. They're going to bring Raymond in to pitch. He's going to have to eat some innings up here today. So Carl Wiley can't get out of the 4th inning for the Braves. He's been pitching damn good this season, folks. He's 10-2. And going into the game, he had a 2-something ERA. Sure. That sure has gotten blown up here. So in comes Carl. He'll be facing Floyd Robinson with the bases empty. Hey, Legends. Checked out your game today. Great game, bud. Enjoyed it. Like I say, I'm unable to get in the chat at work. So here comes Clyde. Alrighty, nobody on now. A 10-1 ball game here in the 4th. Sure. We got Floyd Robinson up. He's 2 for 2. Scored twice. Here's the pitch to Floyd. And that's going to be a foul ball. Strike 1. Oh, yeah. It was still a good game there, Legends. Yep. Not every game can be close. Look at this route. Already in the 4th inning, 10-1. Yeah, that's for sure. So we got an 0-1 count on Floyd. And that's going to be a ground down ball down to Frank Bolin. He flips it over to first for out number 2. That brings up Gordon Cooper. Gordon Cooper. I don't know why I want to keep calling him Gordon Cooper, the astronaut. Alrighty, he's 2 for 2, Coleman is. 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. And here's the pitch to old Gordon. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Aaron gets under it, and that'll end the inning, but not until the Reds score 2 more on the home run, folks, and take a 9-run lead going into the bottom of the 4th. We got Adcock, May, and McMillan due up here for the Braves. Joe is 0 for 1. He flew out the Vedas first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Gus Bell in the gap calls off Veda, makes the catch for out number 1. Here comes Lee May, the only bright spot here today for the Braves. He homered his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Coleman at first. He'll take it himself for an easy out. 2 up and 2 down here in the 4th. Here comes McMillan now. Mac is 1 for 1 with a double today. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Braves go down in order, folks. We go to the top of the 5th. It's 10-1. The Reds. We got Bell, Freeze, and Edwards due up here for the Reds. Gus is 1 for 2 with a home run himself. And he's not done yet. Squares this one up, folks. And that ball is driven in the gap. Just misses, having his second home run of the game, folks. That bounces off the wall. Yeah, exactly, Tim. They're sure hammering them. And Henry Aaron, the hammer, ain't doing no hammering. We got Gene Freeze up. He's 0 for 2. He might be the only Red without a hit. He's grounded out the second his last time up and flew out the left. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Freeze goes down on strikes. 1 out with Bell down at second. Here's Johnny Edwards. And he's 1 for 2 with a double. And that's going to be a base on balls. At least that sets up the double play. Purkey's going to swing away with a 9-run lead, folks. He ain't going to lay down no bunt. Let him take a hack here. Here's the pitch to Bob. Bob's 0 for 1. He walked and struck out. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. 2 outs here. So Raymond with back 2 strikeouts. Can he get the hat trick here, folks? In between a double and a walk. Here's Blasingame. He's 1 for 3. And he's going to belt this ball, folks. And the Reds are going to add to this lead. I'll say they are. That ball is hit into the right field, rolling around. Aaron's having a heck of a time. And where's Beatles when you need him? Because we got a what? We got a triple here, folks. A triple, man. And that'll clear the bases. And it is 12-1. So it don't matter who the Braves got on the mound. They're just getting shellacked. Blasingame down at third now with 2 outs. The Reds have scored at least 2 runs in every inning. Sure. Here comes Leo up now. He's 1 for 3 with that 3-run homer. And guess what, folks? He ain't done yet. That's a single in the right field. And Blasingame walks on in. And it is a 13-1 run game. Sure. If this was a fight, the ref would have stomped it, folks. That brings up Veda. He was 2 for 3 with a home run. And he ain't done yet, folks. He squares this one up. And that ball is hit into the gap in right field. And with 2 outs, Leo's going to score easy from first, folks. Sure. And now 2 outs, a runner down at second. And that's 4 runs in this 5th inning. Sure. And Raymond's due to bat second. So they're going to get him through this 5th inning, folks. Sorry about his luck. He's going to take a beating here. Here is Frank Robinson, rather. And Frank, he flies out the deep center field, and Mac Jones makes the catch. But the Reds score 4 more and lead this game 14-1, folks. Sure. We got White, Raymond, and Jones due up here for the Braves. Sammy's 0 for 1, struck out. And he gets a fly ball in the center field. Veda racing over in the gap, makes a running catch and robs Mr. White of a hit, folks. Raymond's coming out of the ball game, folks. And let's see here. Who's going to pitch hit? We're going to have Mr. Taylor come out here and pitch hit. There's the Hawk. Hawks batting 176 on the year, folks. And that's going to be a base on balls. Taylor trots on down the first. And with 1 out, we got Jones up. Let's see if Mac can keep the merry-go-round going. He struck out and flew out to center. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Is the Reds going to be able to turn two? Blasingham's up with it. Throws over the second, over to first. And with Jones' speed, he beats it out, folks. So Jones is down at first now with 2 outs for Frank Bowen. Frank's 1 for 2. Singled his first time up and flew out to center. And that's going to be a infield hit. That's a big Baltimore chop. He'll make it down to first before the throw. So the Braves making some noise here with 2 outs. Here's Eddie Matthews. Can he do something, at least make this game a little respectable? Matthews 1 for 2, grounded out to third and singled his last time up. And that's going to be another infield hit, folks. They're nickel and diming Purkey to death here in this inning, folks. Bases juice for the Hammer. Can the Hammer deliver here, folks? He is 0 for 2. He's flown out the center and he grounded out the third. Be nice to see him hit one here, folks. The Reds have been knocking him out of the park. Let's see if Hank can. And no, that ball is hit. Ain't hit nowhere. That's a swing and a miss. He was trying to hit a grand slam. He missed it all, folks. And Purkey comes back and strikes out Henry. It's that type of a game for the Braves. We go to the top of the 6th. It's still 14-1 game. And let's see here. Who's coming in? Tony or John? See who pitched the least amount of batters last game. Let's see here. Tony pitched to 8. And John 3. So Johnny's going to come in here, try to eat up some innings for the Braves. Johnny Antonelli's going to be facing some lefties anyway. He'll have Coleman, Bell, and Freeze due up here in the top of the 6th. And Coleman's 2 for 3 with a double and 3 RBIs, 2 doubles. And that ball is high. That ball is back, and going. Hank Aaron couldn't hit a grand slam, but he can watch this solo home run by Coleman go out of the park, folks. And the Reds have scored in every inning, folks. Turn out the lights, the party's over. As old Dandy Dan would say, all you working folks, turn the channel and go to bed. Here's Gus Bell. He's 2 for 3 with a double and a home run and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Aaron backs up near the track, makes the catch for a loud out number 1. Here comes Gene Freeze now. 0 for 3. Let's see if Gene's the only Reds without a hit besides Purkey. Yep. Freeze and Perky's the only Reds not to get a hit. Matter of fact, yeah, the only Reds not to get a hit. Ain't that awful? So let's see if he can get off the snot. He's 0 for 3. He's flew out, grounded out, and struck out. And that's a ground ball down to Frank Bolin. He fields it cleanly, throws over to first for out number 2. Here's Mr. Edwards. He's the only Red with a 1 hit, not 2. He's 1 for 2, but he's walked, doubled, and scored twice. And he says, what the heck? I don't like to have 2 hits, folks, and drives that ball in the left field. So Edwards is on at first. Gives Perky a chance here to get a hit. Let's see if old Bob can get a hit. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield. Eddie Matthews takes control, makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. But again, the Reds score another run and make it 15-1. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We got Adcock, May, and McMillan due up here in the 6th. Joe is 0 for 2, flew out the center and left. And that'll be a base on balls. Bob don't want to start doing that even with a 14-run lead. Here's Lee May with the only run of the game, folks. He homered back in the 2nd. And that's going to be a ground ball, I think, back to the mound. Yes, it is. He's going to spin, fired down the 2nd. And they're going to get Adcock at 2nd. Now May's down at 1st with 1 out. And here comes McMillan up now. Max 1 for 2 with a double. And that's going to be a ground ball down the 3rd. Freeze comes charging in on it. Fires over to 1st. May will end up down at 2nd now with 2 outs for Sammy White. Sammy's 0 for 2, struck out and flew out to center. And that's another strikeout. Bob Purkey with his 6th strikeout of the game, I believe, folks. Yeah, 6th strikeout of the game. And we go to the top of the 7th, the top of the order for the Reds. Blasting game. Leo and Veda. Yeah, it does look like a football score, Tim. You're right. Yes, it does. If they could get like a field goal out of it, huh? 2 more runs, make it 15-3. Here's blasting game. And that's a ground ball down to Matthews. He's up with it for out number 1. And here's Leo. He is 2 for 4, a home run and 4 RBIs, folks. And they don't want nothing to do with him. That's a base on balls. Leo trots on down to 1st. Here's Veda. He's 3 for 4 with a double, a home run, and 3 RBIs. And that's sit down the 3rd. Can Eddie come up with this ball, folks, and get a double play? He fires the ball over to Frank Bolin at 2nd. And nice slide in there. Frank holds on to it. Veda's safe down at 1st. 2 outs now for Frank Robinson. Frank is 2 for 4. He scored twice. And that's going to be a base on balls. Frank motors on down to 1st and 2nd now. That brings up Mr. Coleman. He homered his last time up, folks. And that's a ground ball down the short. And how about this, folks? Mark it down. As Mac fires over to 1st, and the Reds don't score. The 1st inning that the Reds haven't scored, we make it to the 7th inning stretch. And there's some lefties due up in the top of the 8th. I think Johnny's going to hit here, folks. We're not going to go through the bullpen. So Johnny, Jones, and Bolin do up here for the Braves in the 7th. And this will be his first plate appearance, folks. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Tony goes down on strikes. Johnny, rather, sure. Long game. Here comes Mac. 0 for 3 today. And he's going to be 0 for 4. That's back-to-back strikeouts. Purkey's wheeling and dealing out there. His 8th strikeout of the game. That brings up Frank Bolin now. Frank's 2 for 3. The one bright spot in this Braves lineup, besides the Lee Mays home run. And that's going to be a pop-up on the infield. And Blasingame makes the call, makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 goes the Braves. We go to the 8th inning. It's 15-1, folks. Bell, Freeze, and Edwards do up here against Johnny. Bell's 2 for 4. And he's not done yet, folks. He drives that ball in the right field. Aaron cuts it off, holds Bell to a single. So right away, the Reds got a runner on. Here is Gene Freeze. He's 0 for 4 still, folks. The only Red without a hit. And he's still without a hit. That's a strikeout. 1 down here in the 8th. Here comes Mr. Edwards now. He is 2 for 3. And that's popped straight up the chute. Sam, he's going to throw the mask off, make the catch. And that's 2 outs now here in the 8th inning. Bob Purkey, he doesn't have a hit either. See if he can get a hit here, folks. No, that ball is hit down the second. Frank will toss it over to Mac covering. And that'll end the inning, folks. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We got the big boys due up. Matthews, Aaron, and Adcock. Let's see if there's still a fight in them. And here's the pitch to Eddie. He's having a good game, 2 for 3. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Veda had him played perfect. That'll be out number 1. And that brings up the hammer. He's 0 for 3, folks. Flew out, grounded out, and struck out. And now he's popped out. And that'll be in foul territory. Edwards makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down here in the 8th. Here's Joe Adcock. Joe's 0 for 2 with a walk. And that's a ground ball down the Leo at short. 1, 2, 3 goes the Braves. We go to the 9th inning in a 15-1 game, folks. We got the top of the order Blasingame, Leo and Penson here. And here's Don. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Adcock at first. Takes it himself for out number 1. Here's Leo. Leo's 2 for 4 with a walk, a home run, and 4 RBIs, folks. And that's a fly ball in the center field. Jones takes a few steps in, makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down. We haven't said that much today for the Reds. We said it, I think, in the first inning. Then they ended up scoring 2 with 2 outs. Here's Veda, 3 for 5 with that home run and a double and a single. All he needs is the triple, folks. But he's not going to get it. Adcock fields that ball. And that is it, though. Reds go down in order in the 9th. Sure. And they get a Bronx cheer from Milwaukee fans here, folks. That'll bring up May, McMillan, and White here in the 9th. Lee with that home run. And that's a ground ball down to Gene Freeze. He fires over the first, 1 out. Here comes McMillan now. Max 1 for 3 with a double. And he's got some fight in him, folks. He squares this ball up, and that ball is hit into the gap in right field. McMillan finds himself with a double here today. That's his second double of the game, folks. That brings up Sammy White with Mac in scoring position. Sammy's 0 for 3. Can he deliver here, folks? No, he can't. That is a high pop up on the infield. Blasting game calls for it, and that is 2 outs. We'll have a pitch hitter here for Johnny. See, he's going to pitch hit. Mr. Boyd's going to come out here and pitch hit with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. See if Bob can do something here. Bob's hitting 400 on the year, folks, in limited play. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Frank's underneath of it, waits for it to come down. And mercifully, this game is over, folks. The Braves have just got scalped. 15-1. Let's take a look at this box score. Sure. Not much to look at if you're a Braves fan, that's for sure. The Reds 15 runs on 17 hits, folks, and no errors. The Braves 1 run on 7 hits and no errors. Look at that. Blasting game 2 hits. Leo 2 hits. Veda 3. Robinson 2. Coleman 3. Bell 3. The story of the game for the Reds really is Gene Freese not getting a hit, striking out twice. That is really the story. And look at that. They only left 6 men on base, folks. Home runs by Leo, Penson, Coleman, and Bell. Sure. Oh, exactly, Tim. And Carl's been pitching great. That's the sad part. Sure. 3 bright spots in the lineup. Bolin, Matthews, and May. McMillan not bad, 2 for 4. And the Braves left 8 men on, folks. 1 for 7 in scoring position. Purkey, 9 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, walked 2, struck out 8. Only bad pitch was that pitch to Lee May. Poor Wiley couldn't get out of the 4th inning. 3 1/3. 10 hits, 10 runs, walked 1, struck out 3, and gave up 3 home runs. Poor Raymond came in. He got lit up, pitched an inning and 2/3, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, walked 1, struck out 2. And then old Johnny Antonelli comes in, has to pitch 4 innings. Doesn't do bad. 3 hits, 1 run, walked 2, and struck out 1, and gave up the home run. Let's do some fast play here in the National League. We got 3 more games here. Got the Cardinals traveling up to Chicago to take on their rivals, the Cubbies. And the Cubbies win. Cardinals 4 runs on 9 hits and no errors. The Cubbies 6 runs on 6 hits and an error. Then we travel to Philadelphia to watch the Dodgers take on the Phils. And the Dodgers 4 runs on 6 hits and no errors beat the Phils. The Phils 1 run on 7 hits and an error. And here's the Giants and the Pirates. And I believe the Braves need some help for the Pirates. I think the Giants, if I remember right, it's only a half a game back, folks. And they got Juan Marichal on the mound for them to try to get the lead here in the National League. Let's see what happens. Like I say, I think they're only a half a game back. If they win this game, they'll have the lead in the National League. And a close ball game, and the Giants win 8 runs on 10 hits in an error. The Pirates 7 runs on 16 hits and an error. Let's take a look at the standings here. I think the Giants have just taken over the lead. And yes, they have. The Giants with a half a game lead over the Braves. The Reds are only 5 games back now. Cardinals are 7.5 games back. Dodgers are 10 games back. Cubbies 11.5 games. Pirates 15.5. And the Phillies 26 games back, folks. You got Clemente hitting .355, leading the league. Mays with 30 home runs. And Cepeda with 90 RBIs. Warren Spahn leading the league with a 2.72 ERA. He's the only National League pitcher right now with a under 3 ERA. Mike McCormick with 12 wins on the year. And McMahon with 22 saves, folks. You got Cepeda leading the league in MVP voting, and Mike McCormick with the Cy Young, followed by Marichal now. So the Giants take the lead. The Braves out of first place, folks. They have lost 4 out of the last. They've won 4 out of the last 10. Lost 2 in a row here to the Reds. If I remember correctly, I think this was the last game of this series against the Reds. I believe. Yeah, the Cardinals come to town. The next game we'll have on the channel will be the Orioles traveling up to Yankee Stadium. And then after that, we'll have the Cardinals taking on the Braves. I want to thank Tim D for stopping by. Legends Sports Universe. Check out that channel, folks. Legends is doing his baseball, and then he's been showing everybody what he's doing with Madden, creating the franchise stars just like he did with baseball with MLB 22. Check that out. We got Bernard in here today, folks. Check out Bernard's channel doing some Red Sox replays. And I believe that's everybody. Alrighty, y'all have a great evening. I'm going to get off of here and get something to eat. I think Beetle said he's going to be on here in a little while with some games. Check out that channel. Was it? Alrighty, folks. Until next time, you all have a great evening and take care. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it, bud. Oh, you're welcome, legends.